Edward Burton was the United States commercial attaché in Riyadh in the mid-2000s. Now, as head of the US-Saudi Arabian Business Council, he has a similar agenda, promoting business between the two countries. He says that despite a small slowdown in trade 2 years ago, at the height of the global financial crisis, bilateral trade and investment is booming.
The bilateral commercial relationship between Saudi Arabia and the U.S. remains one of the most important, strategically important, enduring relationships in the planet. This is primarily due to, of course, the U.S. global profile and in terms of its how it projects its corporate community around the world, and particularly in Saudi Arabia, but also Saudi Arabia's enduring ties with the United States. So trade has been generally on the uptick. Last year, $61.29 billion in bilateral trade, about $13 billion in U.S. exports going to Saudi Arabia, and about $47.5 billion of Saudi products coming to the United States.
That's mostly petrochemicals.
Mostly oil and petrochemical and other tertiary and secondary products coming to the United States, yes.
As Saudi Arabia diversifies its economy, U.S. firms have been investing in such sectors as automobile and home appliance production and solar energy.
We're, of course, very bullish on the Saudi market. Of course, it's our business. But when you have Saudis at very senior levels in the government and in the corporate sector, letting America know that there is a standing invitation to that market, and specifically identifying opportunities through a sector approach, particularly when you look at Saudi Arabia's 9th development plan, which targets the downstream hydrocarbon industry, and particularly through the National Industrial Cluster Development Program with 5 specific clusters. Those, I think, will be quite palatable to American companies because we are very good in green technologies, particularly solar, which is one of the clusters. Automotive, of course, has been a renaissance in the automotive sector in the United States, and I think that's caught the interest of those interested in that sector from Saudi Arabia. And the other clusters, plastics. We have some of the most advanced plastics technology in the world, and the other clusters as well. So I think the message, most recently here a week ago by our new Saudi co-chairman, CEO of SABIC, Mohammed Al-Mahdi, underscoring the importance of the historical relationship, but also extending once again an invitation for closer economic and business ties with Saudi Arabia. It's being perceived quite well, and we think that it'll lead to even greater ties.
Saudi Arabia is investing huge amounts in education. Burton says these investments will pay off handsomely by spurring economic growth in the kingdom.
The rush to equip Saudi men and women with the appropriate technical skills, managerial skills, has been well on in Saudi Arabia. And certainly when you look at the quality and profiles of the American educational institutions from the university level down, and the corporate community with expertise in the education and training area, again, we are very optimistic that Saudi Arabia will continue to equip itself and its youthful population to take advantage of the jobs that are being created within the kingdom through a variety of industrial sectors.
Burton rates Saudi Arabia as very welcoming of foreign investments, especially following a major investment law reform in 2005. The 2001 terrorist attacks and the more recent global financial crisis each caused a temporary slump in U.S.-Saudi business relations. But trade and investment remain strong and is growing. What's more, it is now widening into new sectors as the kingdom diversifies its economy. Burton Bolag, KSA2, Washington.